tonight out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing black trunks and weighing in officially at 10 stone 6 pounds. Hailing from Surrey, England, he is undefeated with 2 wins. One of his 2 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Prince Aadam Hamed.
Listen to my instructions at all times. Watch your heads, no low blows. When I say break, step back. Protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves.
So a third professional fight for Aadam Hamed. There was quite a lengthy gap between the 2 outings. The debut and the second fight. The debut was in August 2023, and then most recently he boxed in July this year at the O2 on the Joyce Chisora undercard. So it's Hamed in the black and Garces in the green and white.
And I think it was good that he had to go the distance in his last fight, so he gets a proper experience of what it's like to manage the rounds, and then everyone's going to fall over in front of you regardless of their record.
Garces not offering too much so far. Nice jab there from Hamed, got through the guard.
Just like to see him when he throws that jab, just dip the legs and throw that left hand right on the middle. Yeah, right to the stomach. That's a good jab, really long, isn't it? And powerful, that right hand there from Hamed.
Again, just plants it on the forehead there of Garces, who's just operating around that outer clock face at the minute, barely throwing a punch midway through round 1.
Again, could he steps in behind that right hand jab there? He got enough time there to dip the legs, like I said, and throw that left hand right down the middle. Or dip the legs and do the old daddy screw shot. And instead his fathers do so well.
Into the final minute of round 1. There's a left hand from Hamed. Up until now it's been almost exclusively with the lead right hand that he's worked. No bad thing that, because building your way in punch by punch, establishing the jab, then putting the rear hand onto it, then the hook. Always good to see someone just go through it in that kind of structured way, but there's so little coming back from Garces. He could maybe accelerate the plan a touch, but no particular need. He's got 3 rounds after this.
Yeah, and he has walked a bit closer with that front foot in the last sort of 30-40 seconds here, Hamed. Again, just looking for that perfect shot. I just think if he lets his hands go, that's just the feet getting tangled up there, but Hamed has jumped on him.
And he's just wrapped things up bit by bit in that round as he realised, I think, that there wasn't going to be too much ambition shown here by Garces. As you said, it was a tangle of feet, that stumble when he almost went down there, the Colombian. That wasn't due to a punch, it wouldn't have been called a knockdown. Jack Capital.
So some of the good work here from Hamed, not accurate with everything, but I think if he just lets his hands go, he might miss with 1 or 2, but one of them's going to land, it's going to have some effect. And it's just important for him to keep that pressure, keep the hands up, be safe when he's walking forward, but just slowly walk this guy down. There was some good work in that round there for Hamed. The jab was a really good weapon for him. And then at the end of the round there, there's a couple of good solid left hands there also.
Round 2.
Leads off with a hook that time, doesn't quite land it. Back on the jab and does immediately pierce the guard.
Yeah, he just telegraphed that right hook, didn't he there, Hamed? So make it a little bit faster. That just takes away the little tell at the beginning of the shot there then. Again, you know, when you're looking for that big shot, just keep busy with the hands.
Maybe just needs to get a little bit closer, just short with that jab 2-3 times. Garces trying to keep that head on the move and then looks for a quite tame looking overhand right. He's come here to get through the rounds, to navigate the distance. That's what he does. And he's pretty adept at it. There isn't much of a threat from him, is there? You don't want to go crazy if you're Hamed, because your technique will come apart. You've got to try and put into practice the things that you've worked on in the gym, but in the second half of the round, like he did in the first, he could step this up now.
Yeah, well, I think he's throwing the jab, he's trying to pull Garces out of his shell, but that's not going to work. I think you've got to really push him back and force him to fight back out of necessity, rather than just thinking, oh, I got a shot to land here. I think he'll fire out of self-preservation. But single jabs, he's not going to fall for that. But he's not getting hurt with them. So if Hamed just pushes behind with that jab, or doubles the jab up, he's a little bit more forceful. Within mind of having to step back to counter, I think there'll be gaps will appear there. But he's winning everything. He's dominating it, of course, behind the southpaw jab.
And there's a couple of rounds left after this as well. Final 30 seconds of round 2. His dad at ringside now is just telling him to stay on that jab. It's interesting seeing the whole family around the son when we were out in Poland for that Usyk Dubois card, Barry. We were both working on it, and bit of a reunion between you and Prince Naseem in the square before the weigh-in. I remember that. Well,
he avoided me for years, and to be honest, the only reason I want to fight Naz was for the money. That's all, to be honest. He was phenomenal. He really was. Right in my era, and it was a joy to watch him in the ring. He was absolutely a special animal when he got at his best, and brought money into the light of weights. Let's not forget that.
He's largely stayed away from the boxing scene. He had that one high-profile, or a couple high-profile appearances as a pundit where he wasn't too complimentary about Chris Eubank Jr., which is a clip that still does the rounds every now and again.
Well, there's history with his dad, Mike. Don't forget that, of course. He had an altercation in the airport, didn't he? A few years, but many moves before that, I should say. But yeah, it's,
round 3.
He can speak his mind. That's for sure.
So into the third, the schedule for 4. Aadam Hamed, 2-0 in the black. Santiago Garces, our roadman from Colombia, in the green and white. And Hamed has boxed tidily so far. It'll be interesting to see if in the second half he looks to just close that gap a little bit more and punch in combination more.
I think that, you don't want him to take any silly risks. So the idea is tease it. So try it, the one combination of accumulation of punches, and see how Garces copes with that. And if he doesn't fire back with that, then just go again and see how he reacts. If he fires back with a busting combination himself, you either bet on yourself to stay in there, or you play it safe and don't take any chances. But at least you'll know. He's in a position here, Hamed. It's all on him to do the work here.
He did fire back there, Garces, and as he did, he got caught by a left-hand counter from Hamed, which was nicely timed, and I think Hamed would welcome it if Garces were to engage a bit more, but as you say, I just don't think he's going to, so he's going to have to prize him open rather than wait for openings to present themselves.
And unless you've got crushing power that literally that can punch through the guard, then, like I've said it again, but it's accumulation of punches that does that for you, opens up the guard. Be careful there, switching the feet there, too close to the target there, Hamed. He can win, can he? Got to do more work, and then you've got to be careful when he's doing it.
This is what the early stages of a career are like for most people. Most people get to do this away from the bright lights and the attention and the scrutiny that he's got. So the tendency to overanalyze everything that he does is always going to be there. But these are the learning fights that he needs.
Yeah, especially with a man with no amateur background. You know, you understand when they've got a prospect in the Olympics, you can say he should be doing this because we've seen him do this at the highest level as an amateur. But someone like Hamed, just because his dad was a phenomenal athlete, doesn't automatically mean he's going to be that as well. But he shapes up well. The fundamentals are good, and I think he's got decent power as well. This is not the best job to learn on the job, though. I would say that.
No, I agree with that, because Garces isn't really asking any questions of him, but he's got a good solid jab, good shape to it when he throws it, no particularly great tell about it. And that's always something to build on, the most important building block, as any trainer will tell you. One to go here, they're scheduled for 4.
And let's not forget that, people think his dad will be watching this thinking, why haven't you knocked him out? But his dad's been boxing all his life. I've seen his dad in 1988 in the schoolboy finals in Derby, so he boxed, and he knows about boxing, so he understands that as long as you win in the rounds, that's all that matters. As long as you win in the rounds, you win in the fight. Knocking people out is great. I know he did it for a living, and he did it for fun, but I mean, he'll understand the importance of knowing how to box and knowing they're doing the fundamentals right. So I think he'll be encouraged that his son is disciplined and winning everything behind the jab.
What's really interesting about this kind of situation, and we've seen it recently with, let's say, Eubank, Ben, Hatton, and now Hamed, 4 mega names in British boxing. The dads just don't understand why the sons want to do it, because they did that well that they don't have to. And I think it takes them a good while to get their head around the idea that this is something they really want to do, and they're probably just going to have to let them, otherwise they'll always wonder what if.
Yeah, it baffles me why they would want to. I mean, I love the sport, but it baffles me why they would want to do it, because there's no need. You got a bunch of rich kids. So their parents are rich. That doesn't mean they're rich, but from a privileged background, let's say that, not needing to do it. But they show a toughness as well. Let's be fair. That they want to fight, and they want to carve their own path.
Nice sharp start to the round there from Hamed. Landed the left hand off the back of the right.
I like the movement of him doing that when he does that, because I think he's still the way that back foot's set a little bit to the side means he can push off it for a bit of power. So he might be the sort of fighter Hamed where you need to walk onto his shots rather than him push you back. But he doesn't know that because he has no background to think about. He has to find out what he is.
Lead left hand there from Hamed was decent. Got through the guard, landed on Garces.
So 1-2 there from Garces. Nothing on it, but 2 landing shots. It's good though for Hamed. Good reflexes with that hook.
Garces just looking to come forward a little bit more here as we enter the last 90 seconds, and this is often what away corner fighters do. They'll save it for the end, confident that they're now going to find that finish tape. This is where they'll look to give it a bit of a crack. Good left hand there from Hamed.
I think it helps Hamed actually. That's a beautiful jab. Really good work.
He's just backing up slightly, just on the move almost, and timed it really, really well.
He needs to be on the balls of his feet, Hamed. I mean, he needs movement to get the rhythm for his work. I hope he understands that now after watching this last round. I think he's boxed really well here. He's flowing now, isn't he?
Left-handed to the body there from Garces was a pretty good shot into the last 30 seconds. Hamed aims an expansive uppercut, wasn't too far away with it. There's a good, real stiff jab there. He stepped into that one as the clock ticks down, and I think the training team and he himself should be well pleased with this, actually, because if we were watching this at York Hall, a 2-0 fighter deep on an undercard, learning his trade, no real amateur background, what we say about that, I think, is that there's some good fundamentals there and something to really build on.
Yeah, and that last little punch there, that uppercut come screw shot that rocked the head back there to Garces was a fantastic shot to finish the fight. I thought that was his best round, actually, Hamed. And I think, even though he looked like he was under pressure, I think he's a reactive fighter, actually. I don't think he is a come forward fighter. I think he needs to box that way and hone that. I think he generated more power from the move around the target and taking a step back. And I think the gaps appeared when the guy was coming at him. So it was really, some really good work. There was some rounds there, but it was a little bit. He didn't really know how to change the pace and how to really turn the screw and maybe a little bit lost at times, but still winning the fight. But a good start and a good finish to the fight for Hamed, and I think it's all in all, that's a good performance and plenty to work with and plenty to work to.
Well, these two will join Thomas Triber in the centre of the ring. He's ready now pretty much with the final announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, our scoring referee ringside, Sean McAvoy, has it 40-36 for your winner. And still undefeated, Prince Aadam Hamed.
So 3-0 now for Aadam Hamed, onwards and upwards.
Well, Prince Aadam Hamed gets the win, moves to 3-0. Plenty of skills on display and plenty of skills up here. Joining me in the studio, Denzel Bentley, Jamie TK.